All right, y'all. So let me break down for you the state of the presidential race right now. And I'll say up front that, in my estimation, this thing, if the election were held today, we're talking dead fucking tie. Flip a coin, like, it would be razor thin, the election, if it were to happen today. So let me walk you through it. First of all, we got the Real Clear Politics average of the polls. This one is just if you do straight up head-to-head Trump versus Biden. In this scenario, the average has Trump plus 0.3. Trump plus 0.3. Now, this is after, honestly, a recent surge in support for Biden. So Trump has slipped recently. Biden has gone up recently. There was a period where Trump was up like in the average maybe 4 points, something like that. Now that's basically evaporated. That's gone away. Now, why that's the case? Look, your guess is as good as mine. People can make an argument for a surge on the part of Biden. They can make an argument for just a drop for Trump. I certainly think that these civil cases, which have been in the news a lot recently, the $454 million fine for tax fraud and insurance fraud and business fraud and the defamation, sexual assault payout and all those things. Look, it wore them down, right? It wore them down. They had some sort of an impact. Either that or another theory, which I think is relatively solid, is that all of those traditional economic indicators like the unemployment rate, for example, or the stock market, they've been pretty solid for quite a while now, and that could just be catching up where Biden's approval rating is ticking up a little more because of those traditional economic indicators that have held steady for quite a while and been relatively solid. Or it could be a mix of those things, right? So this is it. When you do it head-to-head, this is what we got. Now, let's go to this one. Biden versus Trump versus RFK Jr. polls. So, according to The Hill, in the average, based on the last 124 polls, in a direct head-to-head, I should say, Trump v. Biden v. Kennedy, Trump has 42, Biden has 41.1, and Kennedy has 7.2%. So, by the way, kind of a big decline for Kennedy. There was a time when he was polling at almost 20%. Now he's all the way down to 7.2%. So he's gone in the wrong direction, if anything. But you could see here the gap in favor of Trump was pretty wide at this point, right? 5-point lead for Trump here. And then now Biden has slowly closed that gap to the point where it's almost at a dead tie. Now, you know, you also actually have to include Jill Stein. You have to include Cornel West. You have to include a number of third-party candidates. I mean, look, I don't know if Cornel West and RFK are going to end up being on the ballot in all these states, but you certainly at the very least have to include Jill Stein, who will be on the ballot, and whoever the Libertarian candidate ends up being. But either way, the point I'm illustrating here is it's close when it's head-to-head. It's close when it's head-to-head plus RFK. Okay, so now let's get into some specific numbers based on the issues. Who would better handle abortion? Biden plus 14. It's Biden's biggest lead on any one issue. Who would better handle the ability to bring the country together? That's Biden plus 9. And then here's where we flip. These are all from Hart Research, by the way. Handling a crisis. Trump wins plus 4. Having a strong record of accomplishments. Trump plus 7. Being competent and effective. Trump plus 11. Mentally, physically fit to be president. Trump plus 19. Inflation and cost of living stuff, Trump plus 22. Okay. More direct issues. This one I find very, very interesting. Which party is more extreme? Republicans, 43%. Democrats, 38%. So, in other words, by a 5-point margin, Republicans are viewed as the more extreme party. Only 14% say it's equal between the two. Okay. And then we have this one here. Being honest and trustworthy. Biden has a 10-point lead on Trump there. Caring about people like me. Biden has a 7-point lead on Trump there. Protecting my rights and freedoms. Biden has a 3-point lead there. Promoting a safe and secure society. Biden has a 2-point lead there. Interesting. So these are more W's for Biden here. And then in this poll, the Echelon Insights poll. 2024 national general election, Biden is +3 on Trump. And in this poll, Kennedy has 11%, Cornel West has 2%, and Jill Stein has 2% as well. So look, put all these things together, and like I said, this thing is close as hell. Now, you might say, and this is a fair point, that in recent history, in general elections, the Democrat has had to win by about 3 or 4 points in order to win the Electoral College, right? The Democrat has to win the popular vote by 3 or 4 points in order to win the Electoral College. That's a fair point to make. Also, the last time you looked at polls in the swing states in particular, Trump was up in 6 out of the 7, right? But here's the biggest counter to that I can point out. Every single primary election that happened, Trump underperformed the polls by 7 to 10 percentage points against Nikki Haley. So that's an indicator that a lot of these polls are overstating how strong Trump is by 7 to 10 percentage points. And if that's the case, then we're literally like right square in the place in the swing states where it's like flip a coin, right? Or if anything, maybe a slight edge to Biden in those swing states. So when you put all the issues together, I've never seen a race closer than this, but it's kind of crazy because it's like everybody's trying to fucking lose it, right? Trump's got all these legal problems, and he reminds everybody of his legal problems on a daily basis and plays the victim, and it just feeds into this narrative that he's more extreme, and that's hurting him. That's absolutely hurting him. His whole like victim mentality and the witch hunt against me, it comes across as really whiny and crybaby-like and dumb, and I think that's degrading to the American people. So it's like Trump's trying to lose. And then with Biden, how many fucking times has he been warned? You have to stop arming and funding Netanyahu. You have to distance yourself from Israel. You have to condemn Israel. You have to, like, fucking get it together. You're hemorrhaging young people. You're hemorrhaging Arab Americans and Muslim Americans. These are key demographics for a general election, and you keep putting your middle finger up to them. So it truly is a race to the bottom. I remember in 2016, I thought we're never going to see a race where it's two candidates who are this unpopular ever again. And boy, was I wrong. Boy, was I wrong. I did not know what 2024 had in store for us, but here we are. Hey, y'all, do me a favor and like and subscribe. It helps out big time in the algorithm. Click the bell as well for notifications when videos drop, and watch that video on screen right now. You know you want to.